Welcome everyone to another
Hello.
pop-up career Q&A.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for
Hi.
joining us today, right? So you guys already know what the deal is. It's every Wednesday. We come here to answer your career questions live, okay? So, wherever you're watching from, as usual, Facebook, LinkedIn, or even the YouTube crowd, let us know whether you can hear us clearly or not. Say hi to us. Are we soft? Are we loud? Let us know so we can adjust properly. But thanks for joining us today. So, as you know, this is the place wherever you're watching from, where you can ask questions by just dropping the comment from whatever channel. Again, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, right? Wherever you drop us a career question, we will be able to answer it. So that's right. Feel free to join in the discussion as well. If anybody else has a question and we have to answer to, feel free to chime in as well, right? That's what we want to hear from you. But before we start, right? I want to ask. Oh, sorry. No, before that, before the poll question, right? I want to show you guys something, right? So for those of you who are looking for career opportunities, this is very, very exciting for you because Influasia is hiring, right? So they are the home to World of Buzz, commonly people kind of mistake us for them, right? Because of the
Yes,
abbreviation.
very
So,
often.
now you actually can apply to I guess World of Bus lah, right? Proper. They are the most Malaysia's most prominent digital publication. Influasia is also one of the nation's current key players in the digital media industry. So they are hiring for all these positions that you see on screen right now. So if you are interested in any of them or you want to know how is it like working in Influasia, go over to wobbjobs.com/Influasia, right? So that's where all the jobs are. That's where all the videos about the company profile. How is it like working there, the working environment over there? Discover them through that link. All right. So with that being said, let's get back to asking the audience a question first, right? So while we are still waiting for your career questions, perhaps if we don't have any, we'll jump in the previous questions from last week first. We want to know what is your answer to this? Do you prefer formal or casual wear in the office? Some companies they allow casual wear, but you still got people wearing formal. But some people are just like, oh, I don't want to spend so much money buying formal wear. I have to iron my clothes every day. It's a hassle to get ready. Some people prefer casual wear. What are
That's
your
Brian,
thoughts?
by the way. Brian's talking about himself. He's in a company that allows casual wear, but he will wear formal wear.
That's why I only come 2 or 3 days into the office. The other 2 casual wear is at home, right? So
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. What are your thoughts, right? What about you, Kenny and Eleanor?
How about you, Kenny?
I am team casual because that was the first thing that went through my mind. I hate ironing my clothes, especially shirts, because that's the one thing I feel in life. I cannot iron clothes properly. And it feels very stuffy. Malaysia is very hot. To wear formal clothes going everywhere, I think sometimes it's nice. I do dress up for work. Even though our office allows us to wear casual wear, I do dress up a bit. But I don't want to be wearing the same set of uniform every day. That's life in high school and primary school.
Right.
I'm over that. So casual wear all the way.
Yeah, you can see the guy wearing hoodie.
Yeah.
Hoodie is definitely extreme team casual wear.
Yeah. For me, I feel like I'm in between, not casual, not from. I don't know. For me, right, when people say casual, it's like you're wearing slippers, t-shirt, and jeans. But for me, probably like dress up a little bit, but not like OL kind of look. I don't like the OL kind of look. It's like wearing the same clothes, different colors, lah. Basically, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the people who are watching here. What are your thoughts? Team formal or team casual? I would love to know that. But this is what someone told me previously. Like, you kind of like your mindset kind of shifts depending on what you wear, like your condition for it a little bit. So if you're feeling a bit like, oh, I don't feel like I'm not, I don't really feel like I'm in the mood to work today. If you wear casual wear, that's going to be even worse because you're going to be like, oh, this is what I wear at home. This is what I wear when I go out and have fun, right? So you're going to be even more relaxed state. So, I mean, that's kind of like where I learned from. So partner with now, I only have to come to office like maybe 2 or 3 days then. okay lah, formal wear lah, right?
Ooh.
I think to add to that, I think like for me, my clothes is the way I express myself. So if I wear like casual, like office wear, literally every day the same clothes, I feel very stuffy. I feel very stuck. But of course, I don't want to wear shorts and slippers. Personal choice, because I feel like I'm not putting in any effort. So the way I dress, I put in effort, and it expresses how I feel. And like that, okay, let's say today I have a presentation, I want to dress up a bit more, I have the freedom to. And today I don't, I want something comfortable, I'm gonna come up with different ideas, I wear something more like comfortable but still nice in the office. So it's so much more better, there's so much more freedom rather than like either like super formal or super casual. I think it's much better to have the choice.
Yeah, so we got like team casual here. So your team, Kenny. We also got team semi-formal here. So yes, that's the in between. No, I like your answer. Here's the tip lah. When you guys if you guys are working in a company that allows casual wear, right? Just you can wear a t-shirt and just wear like a blazer,
Yes.
Yeah, like a blazer over it. It makes you look a bit more. Well, I guess that's semi-formal lah, right? So like, okay, you want to go out lunch, take it off, go out, be comfortable when you have lunch in the hot sun, but when you need to go meeting, you can put that on. And yeah, I think that looks well on you as well, right? So yes, well, we'd still love to hear your answers to this, but we'll take a pause on this poll question for now, right? Because we have a question for us already. So Joyce, thank you for asking us a question. May I know how we should answer? Tell me about yourself. Well, this is a very common question that almost all interview starts with, right? But a lot of people still cannot find the right way. It's a bit funny because nobody knows you better than yourself. but we can't find the most right way to answer this comfortably, right? So what are your thoughts?
Hold on, let me get her. I have an answer for this. Does anybody want to go first?
For me, so actually, right, when I'm interviewing in person, I don't really have like a set of right answer for this. There is no right answer for this. It's just what I want to see is probably like don't tell me about how many brothers and sisters you have. I want to know more about like what has brought you to this company, what has brought you to apply to this position, what have your previous experience taught you, and what kind of person you are, and because the person you are, your personality would sort of influence me in making a decision whether or not you are fit for this company. So if you are able to tell what kind of personality this company prefers, and you have that personality, and you bring that up when the employer asks you, tell me about yourself, I think that would help sell yourself. Yeah, can you have you your thoughts?
Yes. All right. So I actually have a structure. If you prefer a structure, obviously there's no right answer, but if you prefer a structure, this is what I normally use, and it actually reflects what Eleanor is looking for. So first, I start with obviously what's my name, and the first thing I tell them is who am I right now. So for example, I'm currently in this position at this current company. How did I get over here? I studied in uni, at this uni, took this course. I went to this company first, went over here, and this is how I progressed. And what am I looking for now? This is why I'm here at this company. I'm looking for this. A fun fact about, and I add in a fun fact about myself at the end of it. So, I have my personal interest is this and this, to sort of throw in a bit of my personality. So start with who you are now, how you got here, where you're heading to, what you're looking for, and also a little bit of a fun fact about yourself to show your personality.
Yep, I totally agree with that. But one thing I disagree is like you start with your name, because usually like before the interview, you already introduce yourself, right? So I always find it very weird when I start off a question like, can you help us get to know you better? And the person starts like, hi, my name is Brian. Like again, like introduction, it feels like the person has recited this already, like this is their pitch, which is very not natural, right? It should be very conversational. And how can it be conversational is like what exactly what Kenny said. Don't memorize it word by word. Tell people, who you are in terms of like your kind of your background, right? Why are you looking to transition into this job? What maybe perhaps you have the skills right for it, or you have interest in this, or you have took some courses that help support you into preparing into this role better, right? So make it be more conversational, but always end it with tying it back to your career goal, which is which is the job that you are interviewing for at that very moment, right? Why are you here? Why are you applying for that job? And the nice touch of ending it with like a bit of a fun fact, I think is very important, because you don't come off as very, I guess you come off as more friendly, right? So just like a hobby, you don't start off with your hobby, never do that. But after you have done everything, you told everything, like what we said just now, who you are, what you're working towards, what's your career objective, all that stuff, right? You got it out of the way, and with a friendly tone, I think it goes a very long way to help ease the tone for the interview, for the rest of the interview. But I'll tell you, look up on how to make an elevator pitch for yourself. It should be 30 seconds, right? So elevator pitch is basically almost what we described just now. But if you look it up online, there's a lot of versions for it. It will guide you properly on how would you be able to answer effectively. Tell me about yourself. Don't be a resume rehash, right? Don't read every single thing from your resume. That's my last tip for you. Right, Joyce? So does that answer her question, you guys think?
Yep, I think that covers it.
Right. So anybody who has any other thoughts, right, let us know how any tips that you have for Joyce, right? So thank you, Joyce, for answering the first question, right? So let's move on to the next one, shall we? So the next one is, do you think the hospitality and tourism industry are in a stage of recovery? What is your opinion for the next 3 to 5 years? It's a bit hard to tell for us, especially we are not from the hospitality and tourism industry. But from a person not in this industry's perspective, I can see quite a number of efforts in trying to help this industry recover, right? I think people now are, I think they feel a bit more less fear of the unknown really compared to last year, right? Compared to last year, we have people are getting used to the SOPs, all the hoo-ha about the vaccines aside, but vaccines are being developed. Maybe in a few years' time, people have more confidence. Maybe there are more versions of vaccine. Like again, I'm not medical expert. I'm not an expert in the tourism industry. None of us are. But I think if you were to continue in these are, well, I guess signals of recovery for the tourism and hospitality industry.
Yeah. I would say maybe don't generalize the whole industry, because there are companies that are very smart in pivoting in this pandemic, right? So you do your research and you find if let's say for you it's very difficult for you to pivot to another industry, maybe look for a company that is smart in pivoting, that is surviving very well within this period of time, and maybe try out joining their company instead.
So this is a personal opinion, because obviously we are not from the tourism industry, we can't say fully, but from my point of view, I do think the hospitality and tourism industry will experience a boom very, very soon, especially with the release of the vaccine to the general public. The reason for this is because in the past year, people have been cooped up at home, and there's a real sense of people wanting to explore and really like just
revenge spending.
Get out and spend their money now. Obviously, it will depend on the SOPs that are being put in place. The way we travel, the way we experience tourism will be a bit different, because SOPs will still be in place. But I can see that there's going to be a boom. Obviously, for the companies that manage to hold on this long, if they manage to keep on a bit longer and sustain themselves, I think things should be slowly recovering. So if let's say you're planning to go back into this industry, expect there will be a boom, but it won't be like a huge, like sudden explosion. It'll be a gradual increment. So plan yourself, plan your journey, and plan your holidays gradually. Yeah.
I think you need to redefine what is a boob.
Yeah, in a sense, like you won't see a huge wave of people suddenly going out because again, the vaccine is being, what is being projected is if you have the vaccine, you are being vaccinated, and you have the proper passports and clarification, you can then travel. So because it's done in phases, I believe that the tourism industry will also reflect that and slowly open up in phases as well.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, right? So Minke, I hope we are able to, provide you with some insight. But again, unfortunately, we are not from the tourism and hospitality industry specifically. We cannot, give you an accurate and specific answer to this, right? So if anybody is from the tourism and hospitality industry, you have a different take on it, let us know in the comments. Where we'd love to hear you and maybe bring it up for the audience to see as well, right? So next question then. How do we make a career switch? Example, content developer to data scientist.
What's a content developer?
I think it's something around what we do, Eleanor, like literally creating content for social media and stuff.
I mean, if that's the case, it's going to take a bit more effort. Just completely different industry, right? I'm not sure what is. Maybe Hanushi, you would want to clarify what a content developer is. But if content developer is not within the information technology industry at all or field at all, you would definitely need to put a little bit more effort in learning about data scientists, taking courses, maybe even taking up internships, to make this jump, because it's a big jump. But if it's within the same industry, I guess it wouldn't be as difficult. You wouldn't probably like start from scratch. You do have to still take quite a bit of courses. Like for me, for example, like even within marketing, there's so much to learn. It's not that when you are in marketing, you suddenly know everything. There's many different parts of marketing for you to explore, and it's always a learning process. So when you are maybe if you are still within, he just answered. Hanushi said it's creating knowledge-based articles for software for users. I guess that means he already has some basic information technology knowledge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So if I may jump in, right? Because job titles sometimes you may you may do more or may do less compared to another person with the same job title, right? So we're really not sure. But what you need to be a data scientist is you've got to be a very technical and analytical person, right? So for example, if your job here as a content developer, yes, you produce content and stuff like that, but some company might require a content developer to analyze the performance of, wherever all this content is being sent out to which channels, right? How, the performance of it, you got to keep up with the trend on what to write, where to distribute it, and all the other stuff. And if you have an analytical role in it, I would say you need to put it in the forefront if you want to transition to a data scientist position. You need to show what is the most relevant skill you have to the one that you are applying to. But that said, data scientist is very, very it's a super analytical and technical role, right? So if you are really, really serious about transitioning, and there are a lot of ways, there are a lot of courses outside. I'm talking about like paid courses from training providers outside, who will be able to certify you as someone who actually went through the data scientist course. So that will add to your legitimacy if you are kind of afraid that, you're, or maybe you don't think you have the right qualifications, or you're trying to apply to a data scientist job right now and you're not getting a lot of good response, right? Because you're not certified for it. That is your option. A lot of training providers out there, they have courses like that takes about, you can do part-time study, maybe like 3 months, or I'm not sure how long is it exactly, but it's like it should be around there, like 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, depending on whether they're taking full-time or part-time courses, right? That will give you an actual certification to show that you are certified to take this, to take on a data scientist role, right? But do be realistic. You're kind of changing. You are changing a role, so it's kind of a restart for you. So like if let's say you're a senior content developer now or whatever, right, you might not be able to transition to a senior data scientist. You might need to start from a junior role, for example, then move up lah. Because anyhow, you are starting new lah, right? You are starting new, so that you really got to be realistic about that. Yeah, any thoughts from you, Kenny?
I think I'm just going to summarize whatever was being said because I feel like we said a lot of things. So Hanushi, to summarize, you need to consider your current role and see if there's anything in terms of data and analytics that you're handling, and put that into your CV and sort of set it up as your base for your career switch. The second thing that you need to do is to make sure that you are already learning the skills that you need for data science. Because data science is not a career where you can go in and learn on the job. It's very difficult. It's sort of like a tech developer in a sense. You already need to know the programs and the languages for that job to collect data and stuff, how to process them in order to even start. So if you do not have this knowledge already, you need to take up courses to learn about this. Take up like SQL, Python. I think these are the main languages that they use. And sort of create your base before you apply for a job. Once you're ready, then be prepared to sort of start from scratch because the jump might be very big for you.
Yeah. It's a very hard skill intensive technical role, right? So yes, hope we answered your question, Hanusri. So let's move on to the next one then. What do employers usually expect to hear they ask if we have any other positions? I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, I think what Carmen here is talking about is...
Brian, I think she clarified a bit. She commented again at the bottom.
Okay.
Yes.
What do employers expect to hear when they ask if you have applied to any other vacancies except theirs? What do you think? I have my answer, but do you guys think you have the answer?
For me, it's number one, I think it's just seeing like what other competition do we have, and also number two, which is more importantly, whether you're really serious about the industry. Are you like we want to see the kinds of companies that you are applying to. Are you just blindly applying to anyone that's available, or are you really, really serious about this industry? Like you want to go into a tech company. That's why you've been applying to all these different tech companies, or if you are interested in companies that are more, I don't know, you get what I mean? Like a particular industry. So I guess this is the like to help us understand how serious you are.
Yeah.
From another standpoint as well, it's also if let's say your candidate that's very impressive and they want to know, what competition do we have out there? Like how fast do we need to get back to you with an offer in order to secure you? So in some sense, the HR is there to gauge like how fast they need to respond to you as well.
Yeah. So for me, right, when I ask this question, I'm just genuinely curious. I don't expect people to answer like, and I don't think a lot of realistic HR people will answer, "Oh no, you're the only company I applied to."
No,
it's not that. But my purpose of asking is I want to see whether are you actually, I want to see what kind of roles are you wanting to explore. Number one, I'm genuinely curious. Number two, right, I want to see whether your story tally or not. If you're telling me like, oh, I'm so passionate about marketing, it's the only thing I want to do, you're applying to my job, and then when I ask like, oh, just curious, like, what other vacancies are you applying to? Then you apply to every project role, like your whole, like, oh, I'm applying for accounting internship, I'm applying for sales, I'm applying for this. And then it's like, I know you're still in a discovery phase, lah, right? And sometimes another reason why people ask you this also is that they interview you, they might see that you are a good candidate, but not specifically for the role that you are being interviewed for right now. But the company has other openings, so they also want to see whether you are interested. Let's say you're applying for a marketing role, right? I think you're better for a sales role, for example. I might ask you to see where your interests lie, depending on, what vacancies you apply to outside. And I might even, perhaps, I'll let the hiring manager or sales team know, like, hey, I just interviewed a candidate, maybe not really suitable for marketing, but I think she's very good at sales. So it could be a lot of reasons, right? But no employer, if you answer employers and no, you're the only company I'm applying to, is a flat out lie.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they don't expect to hear that, so don't worry about that.
I think another thing, which is a big thing for me, is to see whether you actually remember the companies that you apply to. If you don't remember, that shows that you are not serious, and you probably not remember who we are as well after this interview. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
another thing.
maybe. Yeah, maybe there's a lot of reasons, and we just show you a few, right? But there might be more that we know. Everybody's intention is a bit different, right? So hope that answers your question, Carmen. Thank you for clarifying the questions that you have asked also. So let's move on to the next one then. Next one, I'm having trouble finding it. Okay, here it is. What do we do when recruiters and talent sourcing departments don't reply once getting all of our info for a role? For example, don't reply for more than 1 month after discussion. I think number one for me lah. I'm speaking of my own experience. I have experienced this as well. There is not much you can do other than following up, but I'm sure you have done that as well. But what I did last time was that, hey, thank you so much for considering me for the role. But I am looking for a job opportunity with with various employers as well, right? So maybe perhaps like let's say you moved on, you found a better company. You also don't leave that hanging, because sometimes it's they have a lot of people to screen, but I do agree that 1 month is a bit ridiculous lah, right? Like if it's like within a week, like 1 week, it's still okay. I will let them. I will kind of like write the breakup email, if you know what I mean. Thank you for considering me, but I would be moving on to consider other roles for my next step in my career. Something like that. I didn't word it out nicely, but the intention is a breakup email. They left you hanging. It's okay. That's their problem. But you as a job seeker with ethic, when you need to cut them off also, put a full stop to it. At least you are responsible in letting them know that. Or even since I haven't heard from you, I need to move on as well, right? Any other thoughts for this?
I think maybe in future, don't wait until 1 month. Maybe you should follow up even earlier. I mean, if you haven't followed up before this, you should follow up, like say within a week or within 2 weeks, and be tactful in your follow up. Don't sound very entitled, and ask how's the application going, things like that. Yeah, if you wait until a month, it's a bit too late.
Yeah, we're not sure whether you actually waited a month or not. I you might have replied to them, but I'm saying like if let's say for an interview, right? You can ask them at the end of the interview, around when can I expect to hear back from you guys, right? So if they say like 1 week or 2 weeks, then your expectation is set already, right? Then if you after it has passed that time where they say they will get back to you, and you chase and you still haven't got back to you, right? Like I said, write in a breakup email. It might spark some urgency. It's like, oh no, we are still screening people. That means they still have the intention of hiring you. It's just that they are taking a while, right? So also, so you're kind of like scaring them in a way where I might be moving on. You let me know if you still want to keep me for this role. That's my thought for it. And Eleanor's as well.
Yeah,
right?
I think everyone covered it
this,
really
right?
well. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it already. So next one then, let's go. Okay. Why are there a lot of CV rejections in corporate? Can't able to take interview with HR, a lot of rejected. Let me know, please. I think the short answer for this is we can't speak for everybody. There's a lot of factors to consider. But it might, you have to understand also, sometimes corporate companies have a lot of people applying for them, right? So sometimes it may be your CV does not speak to what the role the type of person or the role they are looking for, right? Sometimes it may be they have like hundreds of people applying for that one role with a few openings, right? Sometimes it's not you, it's just that they have found a candidate sooner earlier. Sometimes it might be the candidate themselves, they are applying for jobs simply without without actually seeing whether they are suitable for the role or not. Like machine gun application, right? There's a lot of factors to consider, but for the ones that we can control, right? We need, for me, I always advise people this: your professional product, your professional product is you should be treated as a like actual product, which you are selling to the employer, right? If you have a very, very good product, meaning that you yourself are a very good candidate, but you don't know how to tell it to the employer, you don't know how to make it relatable to the employer, nobody is going to buy your product. No one's going to hire you. Even though you might be a very good candidate, you don't know how to tell people you're a good candidate, no one's going to hire you, right? That's why those people who lie in their CV get the job, but you shouldn't do that because like long-term effects, right? Obviously. But those people know how to lie, know how to market themselves, So you need to be as good as those people in knowing how to brand yourself, but of course with actual content and skill to back up your claim, right? So like I said, there's a lot of reasons, but the ones that we can control is our own personal branding and be a bit more selective in roles that are only suitable for you and not just applying across the whole company. Sometimes they may blacklist you completely if they see you're applying for like 10 or 20 roles in the company. I think I took everybody's time on that.
Yeah.
I mean, to just kind of break down what that means is within your job description, it's, your job experience description itself, right, Ati? You should, instead of just putting what your daily tasks in your previous companies are, you should take into account or note down what are the notable or highlights in your previous experience. What achievements have you achieved in your previous companies, and put that down in your job description. So don't just talk about what your daily tasks are or what do you actually do for this company. Don't say what you actually did that could that actually brought value to the company, that actually brought value, that can bring value to this other company that you want to work for as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I think something that you have to sort of understand really well is that corporates are very, very, very sought after by people. Everybody wants to work in a big name company and stuff like that. So you have to be very aware that competition is going to be stiff. There will be thousands of applicants, but only 10 will be shortlisted, and only maybe 2 or 1 person will be hired. So that's why the rejection rate of a corporate company is so high. But like what Brian and Eleanor said, you can't control this. The only thing you can control is to make sure that you present yourself well. If you're saying that you haven't even reached the interview stage, that means there's a lot more of things that you can do to improve on your CV. Take what Eleanor mentioned about putting in your achievements and displaying and branding yourself properly in your CV, because that is the first step that you will get noticed for a corporate application. Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Right. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. So we are a bit over time now, but let's take maybe one more if we can.
Yeah.
How do we know what skill sets are in demand for various industries?
Go for interviews.
Yeah. But I don't think everybody has the time to go for every single interview, right? I think the easiest way to answer. Sorry, Kenny, maybe you want to go ahead first. I've been answering a lot.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so Buntek, I have a good tip for you that don't require you to go for interviews yet. Obviously, that's a really good method as well, because you understand directly from employers what they're looking for. But before that, you've got to prepare yourself, right? What I would recommend is, if you already know what role you want to take, look for several job descriptions, maybe up to 10 of the same, the job listings or advertisements for that one role, look up to 10 and compare the descriptions and requirements for each role. Find the pattern that appears in those roles, and you will understand what is the practical skills and experience that these employers look for this particular role. This will be very difficult if you're not sure what you want to do. So the first step you need to do is sort of determine what kind of role do you want, and obviously the role will also differ slightly through industry. So the more detailed and the more examples you can find for what you're looking for, the better you can do. But yes, this is the best way for you to detect the pattern and also prepare yourself for the role.
Yeah, literally what Kenny said, compare job descriptions. That's coming straight from the employer's mouth, right? Like, for example, if you apply for a software developer role and then you see required skills or whatever job requirements are there, right? If you constantly see the same type of skill or type of like knowledge in certain tools needed, right? That's the one in demand, really. That's basically as simple as it is. Other than that, it's about perhaps joining some work groups, or like LinkedIn has a group, social has some groups for people of certain professions as well. Sometimes they talk about I don't know, they talk about upskilling themselves. It is a community, right, among people of that skill set. So for example, if you're a software developer, you can find communities like that, and you can ask them also, because there might be senior people in the company, in a company, who will be able to answer you this question. What are the skills that people in the software industry are looking for now in a person of this position? They might be able to answer you there. Or, well, I'm about to segue to something else. So unfortunately, that's all the time we have left today. There are still some questions that we were not able to answer. But this is the deal, guys. We are only here for 30 minutes every day. So if you want your questions to be answered first, catch us early next week, right? We'll be here at 12:30 every single Wednesday if it's not a holiday. Be the first to ask this question, and you'll be the first to get answered first, right? But don't worry, we still have other options for you. And I'll bring it up soon after I let the people know that, well, there's an employer that is looking looking to hire. Wait, first, right? Let me just quickly bring up the visual here. So that will be Influasia. If you are interested in any of the 4 roles that they are hiring for here, or you just want to learn more about the roles, check out the company, how is it working in this company, head on over to wobbjobs.com/Influasia, right? We have everything you need to know about Influasia over at that link. And should you decide to join them, the jobs are right there at the bottom of the page as well, right? So Kenny, for the questions that we weren't able to answer, or let's say someone has a question for us before next Wednesday comes, where can they go?
Yeah, for Ali Reza and Sienna, I noticed that both of you have questions. Sorry, we are running out of time. If you'd like to get answers now, please head over to wobbjobs.com/offwork. So Offwork is actually a community that we created on Facebook, where people can ask any career questions or look for career advice, or you can even share your thoughts on certain subjects as long as it's related to careers. So if you would like answers to your questions right now, instead of waiting until next Wednesday, feel free to join the group there. And you'll not only get our team here to answer your question, you can also get opinions from other experts. For example, if you want digital marketing advice, we have digital marketers on the platform as well, and they could give you even more specific insights. So join us at wobbjobs.com/offwork, OFFWERK.
Right. So thank you so much for joining us today. Have a good lunch. Have a good rest of the day. See you next week.
We are going to go
right?
have lunch.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.